Our next guests this evening are experts on Nepal, especially when it comes to the Nepalese community here in Britain.
So, Dr. Krishna Prasad Adhikari is a research fellow at Oxford University and previously the executive director of the Centre for Nepalese Studies in the UK.
Whilst Kumar Tripathi is the General Secretary of the Non-Resident Nepali Association here in the UK and a senior figure in the Nepali Congress Party, although here tonight in an apolitical capacity. Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Good evening.
Good evening. Very well, thank you.
Good to have you here.
Thank you for joining us. If I could start with yourself, Doctor. First of all, our condolences go out and that of our viewers to the terrible tragedy that has struck Nepal in the last few days. Our prayers and our thoughts are with you, with your families at this very difficult time. We've been hearing that this is the worst earthquake for about 80 years. Is that right?
Yes. Thank you for your condolences. The situation nowadays is very grave. I think the last one we had was in 1934, and we haven't had anything of this scale. So unimaginable.
It is unimaginable, isn't it?
Yes.
Would you tell us about the events leading up to this devastation?
Events leading to this devastation.
In terms of, was there anything, for example, was there anything known that this kind of thing was going to happen? Was there any indication? Because usually there is technology which is able to predict that there may be something brewing within the environment. Was there any forewarning of this at all?
There was no anything immediate to indicate that this will happen in this time, but there were kind of the expectations that Nepal being in the seismic zone, earthquake-prone zone, there will be some kind of earthquake. And the way the houses being built in Kathmandu, kind of cities like that, there had been warnings, some kind of preparations from through the civil society kind of things. But this event came as a surprise anyway. There has been none.
And as is often the case with developing countries, as you mentioned, the buildings are not built with earthquakes in mind. They're not built to survive earthquakes. And of course, you see mass devastation, as we've seen on our television screens. We're hearing some reports, and you as an expert would probably be better placed than the rest of us, that it's going to affect GDP by a factor of like 20%. That in terms of the money that's going to be needed to reinvest would be 20% of GDP to get the country back on its feet.
Yes, if not 20%, if not more, I think 20% certainly, because I think the Kathmandu, the capital city, is hardly hit. It's been already overcrowded, the population massive, any service and all the industries are located in Kathmandu. Forget about the old monuments, they've been built so many years, and the attraction to tourists, that's itself, I think is the for 7% of the Nepal's GDP. Not only Kathmandu, the city of temples and the attraction for the tourists, the Himalaya zone itself, and the there have been casualty. Many people are missing there. So it's going to be huge cost.
Raj, having a finger on the pulse here of the Nepalese community in the UK, would you tell us a bit about what I'm sure words cannot begin to describe the devastation and the upset that they must be feeling, but what steps are the Nepalese community doing here in order to try and help back home?
Thanks for that. First of all, to tell you, on behalf of NRN UK and the Nepali Congress, the ruling party organization WINGSA as well, I want to pass my condolence to their family who lost their life, and then I wish those who injured better recovery, to get better health soon. And then hope, the government, all the organizations, international community will put their best effort, to restrain, to back down the situations. But it's not one-day process, but this is hard. In UK, we are, as Dr. Krishna Adhikari already mentioned, and as per his data as well, there are more than 1 lakh Nepalese people, authentic data, and we are living here, and all the Gorkhas, ex-Gorkhas families, they migrated here as well. We are near about in and out, but nearly 2 lakhs people we are residing here, and everybody are worried. Everybody once heard that information. They try to connect to their family members with phone or Facebook or internet, whatever. Very difficult, and then all phone disrupted, and some parts of the country, we were able to communicate well, but everybody were crying, everybody were, worried, how to help to those Nepalese people. This is one of the biggest, accident. Nobody was prepared. Even even the community, even the nations, nobody is prepared. But it happened suddenly.
And also, it's been the worst disaster at the base camp of Everest as
Yeah,
well
I think,
for so many years.
It happened that one as well. And what I want, to request you is, from our capacity, we done a lot of meetings with the Nepalese community members, but in NRN UK, we take umbrella organizations, to represent all. And at the first stance, we assured everybody, get in touch, who can, to elaborate the situations, was exactly, what happened, who are missing, where about unknowns are, and where is the landslide, where is the, the houses fall down, and where we need to put our effort. The first one, where the sudden crisis happened more.
Of course.
That's so important, isn't it? To get that early information, because as you said, lots of people start wanting to do something, but it's about targeting the right places.
And coordinating.
Yeah, I was listening to the BBC today, and they were saying that there are many organisations who are now sweeping in, but many of them are replicating each other. They're doing the same thing, and actually there are lots of other areas where people are not being reached at the moment. If I could come to you, Doctor. What is the main priority at the moment? Obviously, you're still digging people out of the rubble at the moment, but what are the main priorities on the ground?
I mean, I think so far we know, something about Kathmandu, but actually the damage is done on the outlying districts is much more.
Yeah.
We didn't have any information what happened there. I think the district neighboring to Kathmandu called Sindhupalchok had the highest number of casualties.
And deaths are already at 4,000, aren't they?
Yes,
and that's
yes.
before all these other figures have come in.
20% in that district alone. So we're talking about Kathmandu Valley because we know about it, because there's some to some extent there's some communication to Kathmandu. So we didn't know about the outlying districts, what the situation. The people are in grave needs. So the rescue and relief to those parts. I don't think we're talking much about the media. Are not talking much about those things.
I believe Turkey has sent in a special task force there to help with trying to recover people from within the rubble. From what I've heard, they've done a phenomenal job because they've actually been able to recover people alive from the rubble, and they have such great expertise when it comes to this areas, which is
yes,
absolutely
I think
phenomenal.
that's great. I think Nepal has accepted support and basically appealed to international community for the support, especially in this kind of special, technology, the ideas, experiences in the past. We just saw news that the one lady was taken out from the, where she was buried, live after 48 hours.
After 48 hours?
Yes.
My goodness.
So there are situations like that, and I also heard some people saying that the people were asking for help, and they couldn't be brought out, and they died inside, in the hole, in the trap.
Because there's stories now around, I think we've even seen it as well, footage of people queuing up at the airports trying to desperately leave, and there just aren't any flights. And some of these queues are literally a mile long of people desperately trying to get out of the country some way, shape or form. It sounds like a very hopeless situation, but it seems that there is a big concerted international effort to go in there and really make things happen quickly.
From national level itself, I think the Nepal army, the police,
they've done a phenomenal job, haven't they? Yes. They set up tents in their training grounds,
yes, they have.
Yes.
Sadly, I think about 10 of them died during this course of rescuing. Yes, international, the tourists, the panic it begins from the Mount Everest to the only international airport, Kathmandu airport there. People had to set up tents outside the international airport, they couldn't stay inside. Even today, the third night, people are staying outside because there was kind of relief for 10, 12 hours that the aftershocks have finished, but it hasn't. Just, I think, 2-3 hours ago, there was a massive 5+, Richter scale.
Got 5+, just an aftershock.
Yes, so this kind of panic. My brother lives in Kathmandu. I came to UK last week, so I was living with my mum. I brought my mum to my brother. She's in Kathmandu. And he texted me yesterday to say that he is really stressed what to do. It's been third day in row there, he's staying outside, inside a small carpentry shop.
Can't imagine how worrying that must be for all of you.